This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
Companies, just like individuals, can have losses at various times during their trading life, and this chapter discusses the trade losses and the other losses available for companies. How do we get relief and how does that work? So we're looking at tax adjusted losses for companies. The first thing we're going to do is look at the trade losses. This will be familiar to you if you've seen the chapter on losses for individuals. Then some of the terminology you will be familiar with. So if they make a loss in an accounting period, then the tax computation says nil, which is exactly the same as it is for individuals. Now, we're going to look in more detail on these later, but as an introduction, loss relief. We can relieve it in the current year or the current period against total profits. We can carry it back 12 months to an earlier period against total profits. Now, in order to do that, you have to do a current year first. You must do a current year first, and then you can do a previous year. That's different from individuals. And then you can carry it forward to relieve against any part of future trading profits. That's what's known as the default position. Again, the note here, this is the special rule. If you want to carry back a loss, you must first use the loss in your current period. No partial claims. Very similar to individuals. The choice of relief. Now, interestingly, the exam question will probably let you know. You're unlikely to have to do major different ones, but these rules and the choice of relief are often multiple choice questions in section A. And sometimes what happens in a big section C question, if you get a corporation tax question with a loss, what you'll get is the A part will be what reliefs are available. Basically, what are the rules? What can I have? Which are those three? These three here. So that'll be the A part. Then the B part will be to work out what the loss is, and the C part will be to work out what the relief available and how does that look on a computation. So that could be a 15 marker. A couple of marks for the beginning, 5 or 6 for this one, 5 or 6, 7 for this one, because it might have a capital allowances in it, who knows. But those are the things that they can ask you for this. So factors to consider, because sometimes they ask you that. What factors do I consider when choosing what loss relief to use? Cash flow is one of them. We want to make the relief as early as possible. To avoid waiting any QCDs. That's the second one. So that's the first one. That's the second one. Then the third one is to remove it below the profit limit in order to be able to not pay quarterly instalments. It's not going to reduce the amount of tax you pay, but it'll bring you below the limit. So, for example, if you've got 3 companies in a group, then 500,000 is your limit to paying quarterly. And if you've got 600,000 profits, but you have 100,000 group relief losses and you're below the limit, and you no longer pay by quarterly instalments. Current period and previous year cannot be partial. So you will have to waste the QCDs in the current year if you're going to do a carryback claim. However, loss relief carried forward, you can do a partial claim to avoid wasting any QCDs. All of those different things are what you can claim, and they often come up in exams. Losses is one of the examiner's favourite topics, simply because there's quite a lot of different rules, and obviously slightly different rules to individuals. So sometimes students get confused. So again, read the question carefully. Am I doing a company loss situation or an individual loss situation? Because the rules are slightly different. Non-trade losses. Two common types that you're going to come across at this level. Property losses. We can set them off against total profits before QCDs. It's automatic. And then you can carry them forward against future total profits. You can also group relief, which we'll do with later. Capital losses. Now, capital gains and capital losses stick together. Okay, current year gains is where you do it first, and then you carry it forward against gains. So if you've got gains in the year, in the accounting period, and you've got losses in the accounting period, then you do that automatically to get net gains. Anything else is then carried forward, but they stick together. You cannot have them against total profits. So these rules, you need to learn them, because again, multiple choice questions or section C, section B questions, you can be asked any of these losses rules. Same applies to individuals. They do like to put losses in a question in an exam. So let's do the trade losses in a little bit more detail. So the loss for a current year period against total profits before QCDs. No partial claims, and you must claim this within 2 years. Let's have a look at example number 1. A Limited has the following results for the 31st of March year end 2023. A trade loss. So in our pro forma, under trade income, it would say nil. Do not ignore it. Then we've got interest, 20,000. Tick them off as you're going along. Gains, 50,000. Gives us 70,000. Now, you see here, it goes against total profits. These are our total profits, so that goes in there. Then we have a QCD, because the rule says it goes in before deducting QCDs, because you may waste them, which means our total profits is now reduced down to 10. And then they would pay tax on that at 19%. Put everything in the correct order. Okay, you could actually, because that's got no brackets around it, that's the other thing you might get confused over. But put them in the right order. Put your pro forma right. The examiner has a certain pro forma, the marker has a certain pro forma in front of him or her when she or he is answering, marking your exam paper. So make sure your answer looks like a model answer. So that's the current year claim. What does the carryback claim look like? So, having first relieved the trading losses in the accounting period of loss, which is a current year, you must do that first. Only then can you carry it back against TTP before deducting QCDs in the previous. Now, it's not a year. It's 12 months. Now, that makes a difference, so be careful with that. It's 12 months. And it is applied fully, no partial claims. Not allowed. Okay, so let's have a look at example number 2, which will give us some questions that we can have a go at this. Okay. So A Limited has the following results. Now you've noticed the pro forma slightly different here. We've got lots of years across the top, and we're going to put the pro forma down the side. We have profit, profit, loss, and interest receivable. Show how loss relief would be claimed, assuming that relief is taken as soon as possible. Okay, so let's set this up. Then we're going to set it up as it is in the question. So we want the years across the top. So we've got the year end, March 21, the year end, March 22, and the year end, March 23. Now we had trade profits, copying out of the question of 30,000, 60,000. This always says nil. And we have interest receivable, and that was 10,000 for each one. Subtotal it. So those are our total profits. And if you've watched the sole trader loss situation, you'll know that the next thing we do is set up a loss memorandum. So the loss arises in the year end 31st of March 23, and it is £90,000. So the exam technique for loss questions. 1, read the question carefully. We'll ignore that one because you are doing that now. Set up the pro forma with the years across the top and the pro forma down the side. Copy what you can from the question into the answer. Set up your loss memorandum. Now stop, breathe, think. What am I going to do with this? In order to do a carryback claim to the 12 months previous to the March 23, I have to do a current year claim first. I don't have the choice. So I will do a relief in the current year, which is the year ended 31st of March 23. And I have to do that first because that's what the rule says. So loss relief, let's put it in there, 10,000, which means we've got 80,000 left. Now I'm going to carry it back, so I'm going to get relief in the previous year, on 31st of March 22, and that's 70,000. That's as far back as we can go. So I have a balance carried forward, £10,000, because that's as far back as I can go. Don't leave it there. Make sure you finish off your pro forma nice, neat, well presented. Any tax that's been paid in that year, you'll get a refund, and there's no tax to pay here. So our cash flow is improved. Now, the loss memorandum, this is worth marks. So make sure that you put it in. Okay, so let's have a look at question number 3. A Limited has the following results. Bit of a spanner in the works here. We've got a 9-month period. Let's see what happens with that then. So we have a 9-month period in the middle of this computation. Make sure you copy that out correctly when you do. We've got profits and then a loss for trade. We've got some bank interest receivable. We've got gains and losses. So we've got two types of losses here to do. Now obviously this is current period, previous period, carry forward. These stick together. And then we have QCDs. So what we do with this, remember the order. Set up the pro forma so that it looks like the model question. So you've got it nice and neat. Copy the question into the answer. So there's plenty of things to copy there. You're going to get marks for them. Probably 1 or 2 because there's at least 4 lines of stuff there. Set up your loss memorandum. Stop. Breathe. Think. Do your loss relief. 5 steps. Let's have a look at what the model answer looks like for this one. Now you see how that's been set up? We've got the years across the top and we've got the pro forma down the side and we've copied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things. A couple of marks for each. So you probably get half a mark for that row, half a mark for that row, and half a mark for that row. Nice, neat, well ordered, well set out pro formas. Now I personally would always deal with this first. Because they stick together, you can get that part of it done. So you'll notice there that the capital loss of 1,000 is carried forward to be set against the gain in the next accounting period. So we've got 0 here and 5,000 there, and the workings, we've shown exactly what the rule is and how we have applied it to this question that we have here. Do the gains, get them out of the way, because they only stick to each other. All right, let's have a look at the loss memorandum. So what we've done is we've set that up with the loss for the year. Now remember, to do a carry back claim, we must do a current period claim first. Now that means that this is wasted. Don't worry about that, but tell the examiner you know that that's now been wasted. So that's the first one. Always subtotal it so that you know exactly how much you've got left. Now we can then carry back. Now the rule says you can carry back 12 months. Now if we carry this back, we've only carried it back 9 months. But the rule says we can carry it back 12. So all of this can be relieved, and then we can carry it back another 3 months. Now this is a 12-month period, so it would be 3/12 of the profits that we could set it off against. Okay, so you see how that works. So we got 39,000. Now we only need 26, so we're going to carry back and wipe this out in full. So that's the 26 that we've carried there. Okay, for the there. And then 3 months of the profits there. So 3 months, 3/12 of that we have carried back there. Okay, you're allowed to carry back 12 months. So in total, we've used up 33,000 and we have 6,000 which can then be carried forward to be set off against future trade profits from future total profits from that company.